Hello everyone, how are you? And good evening, good morning, good afternoon. And good to see you everyone. So this is the 8th of January 2022 on Saturday. So the markets are closed on Saturday. So usually I talk about the risk management or psychology management topics. But today, I haven't decided what to talk about, so I guess I will respond to your comments on the chat and we discuss any topics. So yeah, this is the first weekend of the year, and I hope you captured some nice pips in the first week. I thought that the first week would be more quiet, but turned out that market was active. JPY pairs are trending, USD JPY and Pound JPY were trending up, and some other pairs were trending also. So yeah, I hope you had a nice start of the 2022 trading year. All right, good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. All right, Kishore and Gary, Fintech and Nami, Neil and Melanie, Nassar, and John Hera, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Metro Projects, good to see you too. Thank you for joining. So yeah, and the point is to be a non-losing trader. So make sure that you don't lose big, and so that you can keep surviving in the market. Because before, I was basically focusing how to win profits. How to make more profits was my main topic. But after I realized the importance of the risk management, my mindset switched to become a non-losing trader. And ever since, I have been profitable. So I have been trading for the last 8 years. And first 2 years were losses and break-even. In our third year, finally, I started to become profitable. So technically, it took me 3 years to be profitable, but afterwards, I have been making profits every year. On monthly basis, I never lose. On monthly basis, some month slight loss or break even, but some months I get big profit when I capture nice pips on trending pairs. Like last October, my return was 40%. It was surprising, 40% return on the month of October. And that's why I didn't really take trades on this November and focus on some other things. But yeah, in average, I don't lose. I make profits every year. And consistency is a key to success. Consistency, and also never lose too big. And then secure positions, secure profits, and compound the profits along the way. Yeah. Hello everyone, good to see you. I continuously see more comments in chat. Thank you for joining everyone. All right, Steven and Peter, good to see you. All right, Peter says 0.38% last week. Okay, that's good. That's good. 0.38%. So by the end of this month, if you are consistent on that way, then that will be maybe 2% or maybe 3% return. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. So today the market is closed because this is Saturday. So usually I talk about some psychology or money management topics. So if you have any topics that you want me to ask, just let me know in the chat. All right, Neil says, okay, when you enter the trade, do you enter on the basis of stochastic cross or if price makes a new high or low as per your strategy? So, oh yeah, so speaking of my strategy, I use this, hold on, let me put this one. I have this KTS PDF, which is available in public. And based on that, let me explain also. Okay, so here is the, this is basically what I see. Whenever I take trades, I see charts in this manner. So, hold on, let me see. Let me get other tools, hold on, before I start to explain. All right, yeah, let me explain overall my strategy first, so that you have better understanding, because I know there are new members right now. Okay, so here is my strategy. So basically, let me change the window. All right, so this is the structure I use in multiple time frames. So every day when I screen charts, I first watch daily or the forward charts. So let me enlarge so that you can see clearly. Okay, so like this. So every day when I screen charts, I first watch daily chart or the forward chart. So this is either daily or 4. And let's say I found daily chart to be uptrending, for example. Daily chart uptrending, but forward chart goes flat. In that case, I take daily and go down to what I call middle time frames. And middle time frames for me are 1 hour and 30-minute chart. And I see if either 1 hour or 30-minute chart are also uptrending. It's either, not both, but either one. So let's say I found 30-minute chart to be up, or 1 to be flat. In that case, I take 30, and then go down further to what I call small time frames, or lower time frames, which are either 15 or 5-minute chart. And I take either time frames, either M5, M15, and look for the trading edge. And on these lower time frames, I use stochastics or Bollinger Bands and Fibonacci level and some other tools. So when I look for an entry edge, so this is how I look for an entry edge. Hold on, let me scroll down and get to page where what I use for the confirmations. So yeah, basically these are the tools that I use to capture the trading edges. So, and stochastics is just one of them. Stochastics is just one of the confirmations. Let's say I take gold cross in 5-minute chart. Let's say I take gold cross, stochastics, and then I have to look for 2 other confirmations. And the other confirmation could be a Bollinger Band squeeze, and also, let's say, China trend line breakout. So if I see 3 confirmations like this, then simply I take the trade. But the combinations can be with any. At least, if you can find 3 confirmations, it should be fine. It's my strategy. So sometimes I see, let's see, doji breakout and Fibonacci bounce, Fibonacci retracement, and then if it's JPY here, then I take Tokyo box breakout, and I found 3 confirmations, and then I take a buy. So it depends on which confirmations I see at the time when I screen charts. But let's say I don't see any confirmations. Let's say if it's uptrending in higher time frame, let's say there is a dead cross stochastics and bands are not really squeezing or expanding, it's kind of sideways, and I don't see any doji breakout, I don't see any Tokyo box breakout, I don't see any Fibonacci bounce. If I don't see any trading edges, then I simply walk away and come back a couple hours later. But if I can if I can wait for one last confirmation, let's say when the market is going up, let's say I already confirm Bollinger Band walking, for example, and Fibonacci bounce happening. And let's say stochastic gold cross is about to happen in about, let's say 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Then I wait for 10 minutes. And after I confirm the gold cross, I take the buy. In that case, I monitor the chart. Otherwise, I simply walk away and come back after a couple of hours later. And I do this every day. Every day, I screen charts 3 to 5 times. So timings are when I wake up in the morning, in Dubai time, I screen charts, so that's in Asian time. Most likely, there are no trends, but if there is a trend, then I don't mind taking the trades. So I screen charts in the Asian session first, and then usually after I eat lunch, I screen charts again. That's the second time. And also before the live stream, before 6 p.m. Dubai time, I screen charts again. Like 5 p.m. Dubai time, I screen charts again, so that's 3 times. And after the live stream ends, I also screen charts. So that's 4th time. And before I go to bed, maybe 2 hours before I go to bed, I might screen charts again. So that will be 5 times per day. But usually I screen chart 3 times. If I have time and if I want to see charts, then I take 5 times to screen. But each screening times, I make sure to have intervals of 2 hours or 3 hours. And so coming back to this topic, if I can only find 2 confirmations and one last, let's say either gold cross or doji break, engulfing break, or a kind of trend line breakout can happen very soon, then I wait. But if it doesn't happen, then I walk away and come back a couple hours later. And if there's no confirmations, or if there's only one confirmation, then I simply walk away too. So time efficient is the key for me to success, and that's why I built this system like this. You can actually download this PDF from my website. So and also you can find the link on the below description. But please get the PDF, and so that you know more about what I talk about every day on my YouTube channel. But speaking of how to screen charts, basically I screen chart on these 3 different time frames. Either daily or 4, and 1 or 30, and 5 or 15 minute chart. Yeah, so let me see the other comments now. All right, let's see. Oh, 5 Amy secrets. Thank you for the super chat. You can next time when you do super chat, you can also put comments so that I can answer to these questions too. All right, thank you for joining, everyone. Good to see you. Oh, 5 AM Secret says, what's your risk and reward ratio? My risk and reward ratio overall is 3 to 5. 1 to 3 to 1 to 5 is my overall risk and reward ratio per monthly basis. Because I take the stop loss based on the lower time frame, so this is basically for the entry edge and for the stop loss. But TP is based on the daily or 4. So this is basically TP, target. And I am a trend follower. So I follow the trend directions by daily or 4 by Ichimoku confirmations. As long as they go, I try the profits. And once they stop trending, then I take profit. So when I see charts, let's say right now, for example, pound AUD is up in the forward chart. So in this case, I follow the forward chart uptrend. I follow the forward chart uptrend, but once forward chart goes flat, for example, as the market goes up this way, the Kumo continues to be up and Kijun Sen continues to be up also. But once the market retraces backwards and goes sideways like this, and then at some point Kijun Sen will go flat and Kumo will also go flat. And this is when I look for an exit timing. So that's, but in this example, I follow the forward chart uptrend. But in terms of the stop loss, I take either 5 or 15. So let's say if I take the 5-minute chart stop loss, and if I buy right now, well actually this is obviously not a good time to buy, but if I buy right now, then I will put the stop loss below the previous low. The previous low here in this case is here, but this is too tight. In pips, this is only like 9-10 pips of stop loss. This is too tight for me, especially considering spread, it's too tight. So I will take the second previous low, which will be down here, and I will take 21 pips of a stop loss I take, and then execute buy here. So my stop loss is based on the 5 or 15, but my target in this particular case is based on the forward chart. So that's why my risk and reward ratio overall is usually in 1 to 3 to 1 to 5 in average. In the month of October, it was super great and my risk and reward ratio were 7. I got the profit factor of 7 in the month of October, but usually in average, I take 3. Yeah, so yeah, let me see. Nami says, I still survive with $100 last 2 months. Now I have $46. I had around 10 to 12 trades per day. All right. So it's about like a 50% drawdown. If you have the 50% drawdown, then I recommend you to practice and backtest. I think that's better. All right, yeah, good to see you, everyone. Thank you for joining. All right, Arhal says, what's the realistic return on investment on monthly basis if the risk between 0.25 and 0.5%? Regardless of the risk, how much risk you take, the return should be 1 to 3 to 1 to 5 with my strategy. All right, Ale says, Ichimoku, is it a trading system or just an indicator? It's a trading system. Yeah, ever since I have been using Ichimoku, I have been profitable. So even if I'm not a Japanese, I will be using Ichimoku, and that's for sure. All right. Oh, trade with Amir FX. Thank you for the comment. Orochi says, Kason, please talk about what you do after you enter the trade, like you take the screenshot of entry, writing your entry and exit. Oh yeah, so when I enter the market, I take a screenshot at the time of entry, and I make comments also. I put the reason why I took that buy or sell. I put the reasons and save on the spreadsheet. And when I exit, I also take a screenshot and write memo of the reasons of why I exited. So yeah, all the trades should be logical. Never trade intuition, never trade with the gut feelings. Always act by the fact and trade objectively and logically and rationally. So, and all the decisions should have reasons. So I put this information when I entry and exit. Milos says, hello, Mr. K. I remember you day that you take your stop loss at 15 to 30 pips. Is that true for all currency pairs or does it change? If it changes, then how do you tell if it's too wide or too tight? In average, I take 15 to 35 pips of stop loss. Usually, but sometimes it goes up to 40, depending on the situation. But usually I take in between 15 to 35 pips for the stop loss. Because I use either 5 or 15 for the stop loss. Yeah, let's see. Let me see what other comments I can see. All right, let's see. All right, I do see many comments. Thank you for your comments now. Let me answer one by one. Oh, I do see an interesting one from KOM.com, Relaxing Music. He says, hello, K. When you trade, do you look at pips or profit to take the profit? So I look at the pips for sure. For sure, I look at the pips. Before, I was watching the profit. You know, when you see the markets running towards the direction, you see how many pips or how many profits you're running underneath, bottom of the screen, and so I watch pips. I never watch profits. I only watch pips because pips is universal. No matter which lot size you go for, no matter how much you have in account, pips is universal. But if you focus on the profit, you get biased. You might want to exit sooner when you see the profits running, and you might miss out other potential profits along the way. But if you focus on the pips, then you can easily calculate the risk and the reward ratio by the pips to the stop loss and by the pips to the target. And that's easier for you. And also, pips, you have less bias for the pips. So yeah, I highly recommend everyone to use pips calculations than profit calculations. So sometimes I see these, in a website or YouTube that people make so much profit in money, but it's not universal. What's more important is how many pips they gain and what's the risk and reward ratio of that particular trade, and whether they can explain fully from A to Z of why they took the trade and why they exited over there. That should be the full combination every time you take trades. So whenever I track my record, I do track the profits, but I don't really pay attention to profits. I only pay attention to how much profits gain, how much pips I gain, how much pips I lose, and how many percent drawdown I have. I never look at the actual number in money. Yeah. Right, John Harris says, may you please teach on price action, Tsutsumi, Harami, thrust up and down, doji, pin bars. Oh, there's a video about the price action. You can watch the archive. There's a playlist of price action, and you can learn these price actions. Son, thank you for joining from Vietnam, and thank you for subscribing and ring the bell. All right, let's see. Lahan says, can you show replay trade entry and management on GJ on the 5th of January after seeing 1 hour close at 17 UTC? Will you find a buy chance or avoid? Yeah, so let me do bar replay. So GJ, I took the trade. So there was a big uptrend on the 4th. And on the 5th, there was also an uptrend. There was a slight breakout too. So let me go back to the 5th and see if I can capture a trading edge. So this is already, went up already, but maybe it's better to take this uptrend on the 4th. Or maybe as Lahan mentions, I can go to the 17 UTC, 5 p.m. UTC. So that will be around here. So this is 5 p.m. UTC. So here, let's see. If I look at the forward chart, it's uptrending. Kumo's up, Kijun-sen up nicely. And in 1 hour chart, it's also up and bullish. Yep. It slightly broke the resistance level. So this is good to buy. And then I go down to, let's see, 5-minute chart. And I can see band walking as one of the confirmations. And I can see that slight counter trend line break. There was a slight counter trend line breakout here, which formed N wave. In 5, there was an N wave confirmation, which is also a counter trend line breakout. And then I have to find another confirmation. So let's say I think you can find a Fibonacci bounce. So this is, around 23.6% bounce. So I got 3 confirmations and enter right now. And I put the stop loss below the previous low. Most likely I put the stop loss here. And that will be how much? This is 45 pips of stop loss, which is a bit too wide. So in this case, I take the 61.8% for the stop loss, or slightly below that level. The stop loss, and I will take 30 pips of stop loss. Yeah, this will be my trade when I enter the market. That will be my trade setup. So basically, when I screen charts, I just see these confirmations and take trades. And actually, there is the reason why I take 3 confirmations. And the reason why I take 3 confirmations is because so that I know when to exit. Because exit timing is more important than entries. And exit timing is more difficult psychologically than entries. But if I can find 3 confirmations like this, or maybe 4 confirmations or 5 confirmations sometimes, when I found these confirmations, I know exactly where to exit because I see the violation of these confirmations, and then I exit. So let's say the market goes bearish also. In this case, maybe I can run the chart and just explain practically. So I will just run it until I set the break-even line or I exit with a loss. So here, it just goes up towards my direction. Now it traces backwards. So this is still, how much pips is this? This is, I think, still too tight. It's only 14 pips. So this is too tight for the stop loss to break even. So I don't move the stop loss yet. But now I see a little retracement here. I see a little retracement. So once the market goes up and breaks the most recent resistance level in 5, then I move the stop to break even. So let's see if it happens or not. Okay, so it was still resisted, not a breakout. Clear. Okay, so there's a clear breakout. So this is when I move the stop to break even. slightly above the position, maybe 2 or 3 pips above, so that you can cover the spread. And then I just let it go. So from here, usually I come back to the chart maybe 3 hours later. So counting from here, this is 6 p.m. So most likely I come back to the chart at like 9 UTC, which will be here. So basically I just let it go. If it breaks, I follow it. If it doesn't retrace backwards, break even, then I just take it. But the whole time I'm away from the chart. So let's see. Okay, so here it hit the break even. So by the time I come back to the chart, the result was a break even. But this is my strategy. So every time I trade, I set the stop loss and break even and then walk away. And if the market goes up continuously, let's say goes up this way by the 5-minute chart at the 9 UTC, then I move the stop to trail the profits. I will maybe move it to here, the most recent low in 5 at 9 p.m. UTC, and then walk away. Another 2 hours, 3 hours, or maybe I will come back next day. But in this example, it just retraced backwards, so I just exit with a break even, without any stress. I don't lose. So, but this is how I manage the trades. Hello, Mr. Fernandez. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. All right, Arnel, good to see you too. Anis, Suresh, and Melanie, good to see you too. Thank you for joining. So I hope you got this idea. So coming back to an entry confirmation, I took the band walking and kind of trend line breakout and also Fibonacci bounce. And I didn't pay attention to the stochastics because this stochastic gold cross was a bit too long ago in 5, so I didn't take that. But I found 3 confirmations, so I take the trade. If there's no 3 confirmations, then I don't, because most likely the market reverses backwards after my entry. Before, I used to use, let's say, only stochastic cross. So as soon as I see the stochastic cross, I took the trade. But the any signals are not 100%. Even if you see gold cross stochastic, sometimes it goes backwards. Even if you see Fibonacci bounce, sometimes it goes backwards. Even if you see the candle trend line breakout, it goes backwards. And when I realized the fact that no signals are 100% true, then I started to combine 3 confirmations. And then the probability becomes much higher for a 0 direction after the entry. So yeah, you can try also. You can try to look for 3 confirmations and enter the trades. Maybe you're only taking 1 confirmation, 1 signal to trade, but sometimes it goes fake. But if you can combine 3, then that's more reliable, much more reliable. But the chance for the trade will be decreased. So you might have to wait a bit longer, and patience will become the key to look for 3 confirmations. But after you become comfortable looking for 3 confirmations, then you have confidence. All right, let's see. Dio Breck says, what kind of books could you recommend for Forex tradings? Yeah, that one I also have it on my website. So let me see. Let me quickly launch my website. And if you can come to the best Forex books, this is where I post my favorite books. These are the books must read for any traders. These are my Bibles. So I have the video also, so you can watch the video, and also there are links for these books. So yeah, I think Trading in Zone by Mark Douglas is my Bible. I read this also almost every week and remind myself about the psychology. This one is very good. Trading in Zone by Mark Douglas. But there are also other good books that you can read, and you can find a list here. Oh yeah, and as Nami mentions, if you can become my Ichimoku membership, then you can have this Ichimoku Basic Master Book. So this is a community that I run, which is $30 per month, USD. And you can get the books, Ichimoku Basic Master Book, Ichimoku Basic Theories Book, and Kyushu Rex Book. So if you want to learn Ichimoku Basics, then these are the books to read. But if you are more towards psychology or mindset strategies, then you can read these books in public. Yeah, let's see. Neil says also supports trend is ranging in a forward chart and daily chart, but trending in 1 hour. Do you still look for the trades or wait for forward chart, daily chart to start trending? I take 1 hour in that case. So for example, if I only see 1 hour to be uptrending, but daily is flat and forex flat, in that case I only take 1 hour and look for confirmations in either 15 or 5. I do. Dennis says, hi Kay, when the market is moving against your position in reverse N wave, do you wait for Kijun-sen in the middle time frame 1 hour to be flat before looking to exit? No, I don't. If I see the market reverse backwards, let's say here, if the market reverse backwards, while forward chart is still up and 1 hour chart is still up, I exit. If it goes reverse N wave, for example, then I exit. But since 4 and 1 hour are still up, it may go up. If that's the case, I re-enter the market at some point. Re-enter and buy. But if I see a reverse N wave in 5, or if I see any violations of the confirmations, then I have to exit because it may continue to go down. You know, trend starts from the lower time frames. So if you find a clue, or if you find these, like a clues of the market reversing backwards, then I would exit very soon. Because it may reverse backwards continuously, and 1 hour could be flat, and forward chart could be also flat eventually. Alright, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, whenever I put the stop loss while I sell, it's always hit my stop loss and used to go up. Yeah, that's psychology. Yeah, that's a psychology. I used to think like that too. Every time the market goes against me, and every time I'm away from the charts, it's moving. Yeah, but every time I monitor charts, it's ranging, and every time I trade, it goes against me. I was very pessimistic before. But I think everybody goes through that kind of psychology mindset until you realize that it's your bias. All right. Hello, Depression, Blackwater, Jalash, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Bill says, would you hold a trade over the weekend when in profit on Friday? Yes, I do. Once I set the break-even line, then I hold over the weekend. All right, let's see. All right, Chana says, please explain I wave and P wave. Oh, that's very simple. P wave is basically squeezing like this. So this is P wave, squeezing. And Y wave is expanding like this. When you see market like this, this is Y wave. Right? Let's see. All right, and it says, K, when Kijun Sen is flat, the market consolidates and could continue in the trade direction later. Do you look for an exit anyway? Okay, so Kijun Sen flat, the market consolidates and could continue in the trade direction later. Do you look for exit? Would you exit first and enter later again? Yeah, I would exit first and enter again. Yeah, I would. So, because I hate to run the losses, I never run losses for a long time. Because I cut the loss based on the 5 of 15 after I entered the market. So the mindset is that the, let's say, so when I enter the buy here, then I expect the market goes up on the N wave for the major directions. I expect the market goes up this way, otherwise I exit is my mindset. Yeah, let's see. 80% says, Mr. K, can you show your list of trades in Excel file to see the percentage of win or loss and what are the important points of your trades? Sure, I can show it to you. Let's see. There is, I track my records in spreadsheet. So hold on, let me get that one. So yeah, when you are not used to it, you know, tracking your records, trades, all the trades, sometimes it's difficult to do. But once you get used to it, it becomes like a norm. So let's see, October. I didn't really take trades in November. So let me show my stats in October. So hold on, let me adjust it in the frame. So yeah, so here is the spreadsheet, and this is how it looks like on my performance. So in the month of October, I took 10 trades. I took 10 trades, and hold on, I think it's too small. Maybe we can enlarge. So I took 10 trades. So every time I take 2 trades, so basically it's a total 20 trades, but I took 10 times 10 markets to trade in the month of October. So so here is the PF, profit factor. My profit factor is 8.12. So that means my risk and return ratio overall was 1 to 8 in the month of October. But the win rate is only 35%. But because my PF is 8.12, my return becomes over 40%. So and simply on the month of October, I took big winners. I get 2 big wins, which were these 2. So CADJPY on the 8th of October and Euro AUD in 11th October. I took these trades, and on CADJPY I take 2 trades, and one of the trades I took 135.5 pips, and in the other one I also took 135.5 pips. So on the CADJPY I exited at the same timings, but Euro AUD I took 2 trades also, and one of the trades I exited with 216.8 pips, and the other one I exited with 257 pips. So these were the big winners, and these are the profits that I expect every month to happen. So other trades I don't really pay attention because they are small losses and small wins. I only get like 15 pips of loss, 17 pips of profit, 26.8 pips of profit, break-even trades, and 10 pips of loss, 11 pips of loss, break-even, 10 pips of loss. So these are all very small. But what I'm expecting every month to happen are these trades. And I know they happen every month on the Forex pairs, and that's basically what I'm waiting for every month. So yeah, basically I am a trend follower. So every time I take trades, I only trade when the markets are trending as per Ichimoku Kinko based on these steps. And once I can confirm the trend, then I just ride on it. And the point is that I never know how far a trend lasts. Sometimes the trend will only last 10 pips, 20 pips, and then I will just take it. But sometimes it goes up to 100 pips, 150 pips, or 200 pips, or more than 200 pips. But at the time of entry, I have no idea how far it goes. But as long as it goes, I trail the profits. And once the market goes flat, retrace in higher time frames, then I exit. Is my strategy. So yeah, but more important thing is to lose small or trade with a break-even mindset. So yeah, so that is my strategy overall. Okay, so let me come back to some other comments now. Oh, looks like it's already time to end the session in about 5 minutes. So let me quickly look through some other comments now until the end of the session. Push says, do you count end waves as a confirmation to enter the trade on lower time frames? And do you only enter on pullbacks and point do you enter trades on I waves? I count end waves as a confirmation, but I also take trades on the I wave. Yeah, I do. I also take trades on I wave. Then expect the end wave to happen after my entry. Chris says, do you use Ichimoku in 5-minute chart? I don't. I don't use Ichimoku in 5 or 15. I used to use Ichimoku in lower time frames about a couple of years ago, but now I don't use Ichimoku. Okay, Ang says, I want to learn which time frame you draw the forecast lines. The forecast lines should be drawn on the daily time, in the daily time frame. In terms of divergence of stochastics, you can find the videos on the previous live streams and videos. A divergence is very easy. So when it's uptrending, for example, when it's uptrending, I only look for a divergence to buy. So here I don't see any divergence, but let's see. If I just squeeze the chart, when you look for divergence, you have to squeeze the chart. It's easier to capture. So let's see. When it was uptrending, divergence. Let's see. Which one would be a good example? Let's see. Looks like I don't see a good example of divergence. Maybe this one? Yeah, so assuming that the market is uptrending in higher time frames, assuming it's uptrending, and then I see stochastic gold cross. Stochastic gold cross, and also this is divergence because the lows on the price are getting higher. The lows on the price is getting higher, but the lows on the stochastics are getting lower or almost like sideways. And this is divergence. So this gold cross is trustable to buy. So this is an example of divergence. But I look for 2 other confirmations for entry. Okay, I guess that's it for today's live stream. And I will switch to the Ichimoku membership live stream, which happens in about 5 minutes. We're going to cover chapter 9 of Ichimoku Basic Masterbook today. So if you are an Ichimoku member, I will see you soon. And if you are the public member, then I will see you tomorrow at the live stream. So, and I do see many more comments, but I'm sorry I couldn't cover. But after the live streaming ends, I will recheck and enjoy your comments. So once again, thank you for joining. If you liked it, if you learned something new, please press the like button. And please subscribe and click the bell button so that you get notification when I do the live or video session on my YouTube channel. So I hope you have a great weekend and stay safe, stay healthy, and stay gold. Alright, bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you.